All right, we're live. Joe, I think we're back on, man. Thanks for coming back on the Solutions Exchange.
Yeah, certainly. It's been a few months for sure.
Yeah, well, last time we were talking about like some pretty in-depth 3D printing projects that spanned printers from your house, printers at work. Yeah, it was some very large projects if you remember it. God, I want to say it was almost near Thanksgiving. It must have been. It can't be that long ago.
Wow. Yeah, that is interesting. You talk to a lot of AEs and cover quite a wide variety of subjects, so I understand.
Yeah, I
Got to
do.
go around the circle.
Yeah, and I stick a lot, I come from the SolidWorks wheelhouse. I do a lot of simulation work. I do a lot of data management, so a lot of my talks bring me there. And actually, I have a son who is kindergarten age. He's going into first grade. So I'm entering right now. This is his first day of summer, and he's at a camp near me. Where they spend like an hour swimming. They do all these activities. So I'm like eager to hear how his day is gonna go. And I think it was a week ago when I heard about this kind of 3D printing summer camp that you guys were cooking up. So I wanted to see if we could get together and you could give me, more details about it. And I'm sure for folks that watch this too, it could be helpful for them because I don't think MLC's ever done anything like that before. So what's
Yeah.
going on with that?
Yeah, right. So I can't take any credit for it. I'm at least talking about it, but it was our manager of our 3D printing services, Kyle. It
Okay.
was kind of his idea that he was kicking around. Bryce and I, like a few years ago, had kind of talked about something similar, but maybe more like geared towards adults, like in some kind of night session, maybe like 3 days in a row, kind of like 6:30 to 9:30 type thing. But Kyle was like, well, what if we did it like towards a younger group and we pitched it as like a summer camp? And it'd kind of be the same thing, like 3 days, and we'd focus on like two different age groups. So we'd kind of have like a 10 to 14 and then like a 15, 16, 17-year old, like two different
Okay.
age groups and split the day up in half. And yeah, just talk about like 3D printers. They're becoming much easier to use nowadays. So people can justify bringing it into their own homes and start using them to do various repairs and print cool stuff.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it's like, hey, why don't we offer like our expertise with 3D printing from like the industrial scale and also the hobbyist scale, since all of us have both, and we kind of bring the younger generation up to speed and get them into like the joy of making stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. It comes from Kyle. He joined me for one of these not too long ago. We were talking about the 3D Printing Services Bureau, but it was right before he was going down to Houston to work at this big conference where there was all these kids doing like robotics. I think it was
Uh-huh.
high school age kids, and he was just packing up 3D printers to go down there and kind of like if anything's broken, if anybody needs something printed on the fly, to be kind of a support crew for it. And then I
Hmm.
saw, videos he posted with just how big it was. So I could see he's pretty jazzed about, yeah, helping the younger kids who are like, getting into that maker space. And I guess like you're saying, the youngest would actually be 10.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So 10, I know his kids are grown now. His kids are, well, they're college age now, so he doesn't he doesn't have any kids in the house that are like 10-year-old age anymore. Mine are too young for it, but that's cool.
Yeah,
Three
not to
days.
mention he's like, I guess his two daughters aren't like super into printing, so he's got no one in the younger crew to really talk to about printing. So, that first robotics competition, he was really in his element and he really enjoyed it. That probably was the thing that kind of kickstarted this idea, I'd be willing to bet.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he really loved it. I could tell him, and I just imagine him at his house now with more space. Now that his daughters are off in college, and he's just like filled his house with printers.
That's actually like not far from the truth.
I'm sure his wife loves that.
I remember talking to him, we were like talking about different TV shows that we were enjoying watching after work. And we're like, what about you, Kyle? What kind of shows do you like to watch? And Kyle was like, I don't watch TV shows after work. I like make stuff in my garage. So I'm like, yeah, yeah. All the printers are getting put to good use for sure.
I feel like he found that calling as a hobbyist like later in life. Like he did all sorts of engineering and oil and gas work earlier instead of like vice versa. And now he's like getting younger kids into it. Maybe back when he wishes he was into it.
Yeah, right. He's passing the buck, paying it
Yeah.
forward.
Well, so tell me the logistics on that. If you would have a 3 day, that'd be 3 days back to back. Is this like a 8 to 5 thing?
Yeah, right. And because we're dealing with two different age groups, we're splitting it up to where the younger group will be in the morning. So it'll be like a like 9 to 12 in the morning session, and then we deal with the older age group, which I believe is the 14 to 16, and we deal with that from like 1 to 5, I believe it is.
Okay.
And so that's 3 days in a row for both age groups. And we kind of wanted to split it into two different groups because there's some higher technical information that'll be taught to the older kids that I think that the younger kids it might be maybe a little bit too much since we'll be delving into some of the like 3D modeling stuff with the older group, and
Yeah,
that can be a little bit tough.
that's what I was wondering because you're doing the first two are Dallas and Atlanta, and you're going to come to Austin as well, I think. And those are all training facilities where we have a lot of computers and we do a lot of CAD modeling. Are you going to get these kids into SolidWorks at all?
Yeah, so that part is still I guess being negotiated. I think right now the plan is to get some like SolidWorks maker licenses
Sure.
from Dassault,
Yeah.
and we're gonna provide those. We're gonna have them on our training computers, which you can definitely speak to. We have some like really high
Yeah. Yeah.
quality laptops that we use for that, and just it's kind of and then I think we're gonna give them like 1 year free with that. So that's kind of the negotiation that we're working on with Dassault.
I mean,
And
that's
then if anything, we may mess with like a little bit of Tinkercad with the younger group since it's like super user friendly.
yeah for the younger group. I could see that potentially. I am frustrated by Tinkercad. I don't know if you use it. I played with it a few times. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it is free. But the makers thing is amazing, and I think a lot of people overlook how much SolidWorks. And if I'm coming from a SolidWorks background, I'm not trying to toe a line here, but people really overlook how much they have done for the small seat SolidWorks user, the maker, the like hobbyist, or just somebody being an entrepreneur in the last couple years. The makers thing is so cheap, and you can start there until you really start to make several $1,000s doing something commercially and can afford more. And then they went
Hmm.
into like term licensing, so it's like okay, you could get in really low and upfront cost. There's a cam module included in all of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean I could go on. Now it's like it used to be. I thought, hey, if you were just starting something in your garage and maybe you got a router, it's like okay, SolidWorks is really in the. It's not just prosumer; it's like commercial market only. And I don't think that's the case anymore after the last like 4 or 5 years.
It's funny you say that because I've found myself talking to a lot of folks in like what is it, the SolidWorks entrepreneurial program,
Sure. Yeah.
and they kind of get some there's some like benefits with that if you sign up to it and you get some stuff handed down for to you from Dassault,
Hmm.
and we've definitely been talking to those guys and they've spoken pretty highly of that program.
Yeah. I mean, if I was gonna start something out and invent something that I wanted to produce, whatever, I would definitely start with the makers just personally, and then I would kind of work these things out, and then I'd start making some money from it on the side, and I'd go, okay, now I need a commercial release, but also, if I'm gonna start to do that, maybe I don't want to buy the term yet. Maybe I'd buy like a commercial term for like 3 months or something. Once I start going, actually, I can make enough money to start a business here. I'm gonna focus on this. I would go to one of those programs like an entrepreneur program because they'll give you so much software for the first year, almost everything, and then it's very discounted the next couple years. So yeah, they're doing a lot for the makerspace. They're not leaving it behind at all. And I mean that's how I got into SolidWorks was because it was in the schools, EDU
Oh yeah.
programs and whatnot. So I got my hands on it for like $10 or whatever, and you can still basically do that. But anyways, that's a total tangent. I put you on. I
Yeah.
wanted to know more about the logistics of these. I think is the first one, the summer camp, going to be in Atlanta?
The first one is going to be in Dallas. It's actually in 2 weeks. And so
Oh shoot!
anyone who's watching this and wants to attend the Dallas session,
You know
it's
what?
going to be the week of the 15th of June.
I'm
And
gonna
I
pull
think,
up our website while you're talking about this. Sorry to interrupt
okay,
you.
no, it's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. I got it up
And
here. So June 17 and 19.
yep, that's the
Okay.
one. Yep. So there's those 3 days. I think that's like towards the end of the week. I think it's like Wednesday through Friday. And that'll be at our Dallas location. And I believe the sign up ends at the end of this week, which would be like the 5th. Yeah. So yeah, the
Okay.
5th will be end of sign up. So anyone who wants to sign up and get in, We'll be opening it up till then. And yeah, so that's kind of the camp hours that you're seeing for the initial age group, that 10 to 13. And then we'll get into the advanced group with the older kids there. And we'll do a little bit of CAD hands-on. And what we're going to have is we're actually going to have some Bamboo Lab A1 printers there. So those are like really low barrier to entry, like high quality hobbyist grade printers that
Okay.
have like multi-material capability, so you can do some like color printing with them.
Really?
And yeah, they're really. I remember when Bamboo Lab came out with their like series of Core XY printers,
Mhm.
like the P1S and X1 Carbon, and people were like, "We want a bigger X1 Carbon. We want large format." And Bamboo Lab said, "Actually, we're not going to do that. We're first going to release these like lower cost printers because we want 3D printing to be available to like everybody. We want to reach out to as many different people." So the A1 and the A1 Mini are both part of that like lower barrier to entry 3D printer series. And both of those are like really, really popular for beginners. So that's why we chose the A1 over the A1 Mini and over the like X1 Carbon and all them. Because with A1, at least you get a bigger build platform than the A1 Mini, but you know it's not as like expensive as the X1
Yeah.
and the P1 series.
So you guys are you're targeting like, hey, I haven't done this before, or like I'm starting into this. This is so they don't need any background in a printer or CAD or anything like that. Can they
Exactly.
bring? Could they bring a file with them? Like if they've found something on the internet, a step file, can they bring that in? Or are you gonna do
Yeah, they
everything
sure
there?
could. They definitely could. And the other thing too is some of the folks who sign up may already have a printer. And so if it's one of those things where, and they may even have an A1 printer at home. And so instead of having to like bring that printer with, we will have like extras for them to kind of toy around with. And then we have like two different like pay tiers. So one tier can either take like just the class, and then the other tier can take the class and then bring that printer home with them.
Oh, that's sweet. And that's the A1 that
That's right.
they
Yeah.
had the office like take it home with them.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah, and
that's
I can
pretty.
definitely speak to the A1's quality. There's like so many folks online who use them for like printing services. They've got like 50 of them, or folks that just have it as a hobby and they use it as their like go-to printer. Maybe they've had other printers in the past, but they're like, my A1 is like kind of my bulletproof, Toyota. It works and it's pretty fast too.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And so you wouldn't recommend a different printer for like the 10 to 13 group versus the 14 to 6 group? It'd be like the same if you were starting off, an A1 would be a good one to start doing stuff with.
Yeah, honestly, the A1 is like probably the printer I recommend to anybody who's like, hey, I want to get a printer for my child. What do you recommend? Because I'm like, it's not going to break the bank and it's going to be like a rock solid machine.
Okay, that's great. And then I noticed day 1 and 2 for the older group goes 1 to 6. So you guys are putting little more stuff in those periods there. Y'all bringing lunch in? It's like a noon to 1 hour there where you're swapping groups. Are you providing any food or snacks?
We may have some snacks, but there's always like, the taking into account allergies and stuff. So we want to like tread a little bit lightly. But, I mean, it's like the parents are allowed to come with and like stay the whole time. It's not like
Sure.
get out,
I'm
they're
trying to
allowed to
think
do
of
that.
what I'd ask for my kid. I'm like, do we need to bring sunscreen and bug spray?
Yeah, this will be indoors, thankfully.
So okay, that sounds awesome. So you got Dallas, and then it looks like Atlanta. These are both just pages off our website, which people can find under the events. If you go to 3D printing events, or just click on events, you'll find this one on the calendar there. Mid-July, July 15 to 17. This is in your home turf, huh? Because you generally work out of
Hmm.
this office.
Yeah, that's right. And my plan is actually to do kind of a marketing push towards the county that we live in, since we have a lot of like high schools in our county are very like STEM focused, and a lot of our high schools also like feed into schools like Georgia Tech. So I think something like this for kind of a lot of STEM focus, like elementary and middle school, and kind of I guess crossing the threshold into high school as well would really benefit from a summer camp like this. They definitely
Yeah,
take some away from it.
yeah. I mean, I'd go. My kid's taking this. I'm gonna go and stay the whole time. and
Hmm.
basically take it myself. This is just our location. I mean, you go to the Dallas office, but you don't know it as well, probably as I do. We're in Farmers Branch for the people who know the Dallas area. It's kind of near Las Colinas area. There's a ton of good food over there, but that's the location. When you're talking Dallas Metroplex, it's like you could be talking about,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Such a huge reason. And then I have not been to the Atlanta office since you guys moved, um, which has been probably a year now. Is this look like the right place for it? It's up in Duluth.
Yes, that's right. Hmm.
Okay, so we're talking north east side of Atlanta there, so it's outside the major ring. Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't been up there since y'all switched offices. Yeah.
Yep. And we only really moved like, gosh, probably 2 miles down the road. So we were kind of like on the outskirts of Lawrenceville before, and now we're on the other side of 85.
Okay, cool. So if people are figuring out their timing for getting there, it's the way to go for it. And you could also go to mlc-cad.com just /summer camp. And there's a place to register here as well. There's a link to meet the instructors and learn all about Joseph. And we haven't mentioned Bryce, who I've been trying to steal into our SolidWorks world away from
Yeah.
where we get so much 3D printing, and Kyle, of course. But yeah, this is really cool. I hope it turns into an annual thing for us. And when you come in Austin, man, if there's some way I could help, I'm right next to our big training rooms. I'm sure I'll help set up the room, but I'd be happy to come in and CAD model some stuff, modify some files. Let me know what I could do. Have you picked dates for Austin?
Yes, I think Austin's going to be the week after Atlanta's. So
Okay,
just
end
looking at
of
my calendar
July.
here. Yeah, I think it's 22nd through 24th of July.
That would be great. I'm going on vacation right after that. It'd be so fun to just do this for work and then go on vacation. I would
And you know
love
what's
that.
funny, Philip, is like we've had several people reach out to us and be like, "Can we help with this and somehow? Like this would be really
Yeah.
fun." Like everybody wants to get involved. So it's like, dang, maybe we need to like, okay, we've got a summer camp for 3D printing. Maybe we have like a summer camp for SolidWorks, especially if we're able to get these like maker licenses. Maybe we can get
Yeah,
this thing going.
I'd love to. I mean, all the kids in my neighborhood, they have, different printers. So the parents are like, you obviously have a printer, you work in CAD. And I'm waiting until my son can basically model a little bit. Uh, I just got him on, two joysticks playing Zelda on Switch. So I'm like, we just got there. And I think in maybe a year, he could probably be doing some CAD modeling. I'll start taking him through the SolidWorks Essentials book. And then it's like, for sure, we got to get a printer.
That was my natural progression into CAD was Zelda and then SolidWorks.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's on a good trajectory.
he's gonna want to print something for either Zelda or Minecraft in the near future. So that's probably how it'll roll into it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, there's so many use cases for printing. I mean, just alone looking at because Jared, who I think you've had on these calls a few
Oh, for
times,
sure. Yeah.
he recently bought I think the A1 Mini,
Okay.
and he's just been like printing nonstop. He's been going
Yeah.
crazy with it,
Yeah.
and he's been doing a lot of stuff for his kids. But as soon as it's like when you see what it can do, you're like, oh, maybe there's something I can like fix on my car with it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you have kids, and it's like, of course, and it's a good entry point. We've got a couple of the Mark Forge printers in office here, so everything I have printed so far has been real functional in my life, like broken parts of my refrigerator, stuff like this. But I'm like, actually, this one I need it for, form and function, and then I'm like, I can print it at work still. But pretty soon it's going to be
Mhm.
overwhelmed with home printing, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right. You just got to make the leap.
yeah, yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming and filling me in a little bit. Hopefully, this will help some of the folks that are thinking about this. Definitely had no idea about this. I'll post this video like right away instead of putting it in the normal schedule. So, if people are asking questions, hopefully it'll help out a little bit. And yeah, definitely let me look at the end of my July calendar, and hopefully I can hang out and do some CAD modeling and stuff when it's in Austin.
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Philip.